types of bread. So bread rolls, baguette, and a fork plat.
So how long are you going to give them?
We're going to give them 10 minutes.
It's easy. They've only just got a shaped dough.
Too easy, you think?
Right. Show me how.
A little bit of flour. Not too much. Yeah. Look at that. Right, so the bread is aerated now. So the last thing you want to see them doing is knocking too much of this air out of the dough. Fold the bread over to the centre like so. Just gently push it in.
Why?
It just gives it a bit of strength. This part here, it's the backbone of your bread. So I'm going to divide it. I want a few bread rolls, so I'm going to save, say, half of it for the plat to the side. And you want to get them a uniform size. The typical way that chefs do it, you normally just take it with your hand and not too much flour, and it's not a round motion, it's almost a side to side, okay? This is what you want, just like that.
If the chef revolves his hand like you did, he knows what he's doing.
Pretty much, and you'll be even more impressed if you see them doing 2 at a time. For the baguette, and all you want to do is pull as you roll. Not too much flour. You're putting pressure on the ends to taper off. So the last one we're going to do is the plat. You want to roll a sausage, Greg?
Mine's not rolling out. Mine's not getting any thinner. Put a bit more pressure on it.
It's not that easy, is it?
It really isn't that easy.
Look, out and back in.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that's enough. Thanks, Greg.
Well.
Okay, 4 plat. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and this can go under. There. 1, 2, 3. Oh. Would you like a turn?
No, it's okay.
And then just taper off at the end. Turn it down.
That's amazing. That's brilliant.
So there we have it, Greg. 3 types of bread shapes. Your bread rolls, baguette, a small baguette, and a plat.
Wonderful, wonderful test. Love it.
I'm looking forward to this.
First up is James, who works as a cookery teacher in Belfast. In the first round, he impressed with his crab, potato and aubergine canapes.
I have to kind of get up in front of a classroom full of 16-year-olds and demonstrate skills, and I'm hoping that that will serve me well today.
As you can see, there's not a great deal on this bench. All we want you to do right now is shape us 3 different types of bread.
A couple of bread rolls, a baguette, and a loaf that's been platted, a 4 plat, okay?
Yes.
10 minutes, James. You and the dough, off you go. I'm impressed with that, mate. You've had 2.5 minutes, so it's 7.5 minutes left.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Wow, almost.
You're actually halfway, mate. Seeing as you've got so much time left, can I ask you to do something for me?
Yeah, no problem.
Can you make me a baguette with tapered ends? What are you doing with that?
Just trying to do some more bread rolls, just to use it.
Well done, James. You've finished with 3 minutes to go.
The bread rolls you've obviously done before. You're very confident rolling them away. However, if you're going to make me extra, do them all uniform size.
Chef.
Okay? The full plat, you gave it a good go. You know, trim the end off and try to get it as presentable as possible. But if you can see that it's uneven here, it's going to cook very well here and possibly underdone where it's very thick. Okay? I commend your effort. I commend the fact that you didn't just give up and say, you know what, I've never done these before, can't do it. You could have done that, but you attempted to give us something. Thank you.
Thank you, Chef.
I'm a bit disappointed I didn't get a baguette with a pointy end.
Me too.
But hey, love your rolls. I reckon you know what you're doing. Thank you, James.
Thank you.
Great attitude.
He's a good lad. I like him.
I wasn't as comfortable with it as maybe I should have been, but just hoping they saw something that is good enough to go through.
"24-year-old David is a chef de partie from Darlington. His first dish of crab ravioli was pleasant but unremarkable.
I've worked in every section of the kitchen. I've struggled on certain sections before and I've flourished on others, but I believe that I've got enough background knowledge to tackle any task.
We would like 2 rolls, a pointy-ended baguette, and a 4-plat loaf.
I hope my daughter will like it though, because she's been trying to train us to plait her hair, so...
Is that right?
Yeah. Not very good at it. She gets a man to redo it.
10 minutes, you and some bread shapes. Off you go.
That's it. Come on.
2.5 minutes gone. Got 7.5 minutes left. Now the 4-plat, yeah?
Yeah.
You've got 5 minutes left, David, so you're
You've got
fine.
more dough there. You can put that to the side.
Got 3 minutes left. Less than a minute a plat. You've got 90 seconds to do up your loaf.
Yeah, that'll do.
Yeah, I'll do it. I know what I'm doing. I'm getting hot now.
Yeah.
Practicing.
How do you think that went, David?
Could have been a lot better, but could have went a lot worse as well.
What could have been better?
The plat, definitely, and the sizing on the rolls.
Yeah, you've got 2 rolls. I like the way you did them, but they're 2 different sizes. I'd like the baguette to be a bit pointier at the end, and I'd like the plat to be platted.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Even though you were struggling, something like that you could make really nice. You know, get the strands, the right sizing before you start plaiting.
Yeah.
a 3-plat, I'm sure you'd have no problem to do.
Thank you very much, mate. Off you go.
I need to show more of what I can do, finesse things a bit more, be a bit more consistent and a bit more of a perfectionist in what I'm doing, to show what I usually do in my work every day.
Ryan is a 24-year-old junior sous chef from Twickenham. He got off to a good start with his ricotta cheesecake and mango salsa.
It's very important for me to try and stay on track, just for my ego and the presence in the competition. I want to make sure I keep a strong presence all the way through.
10 minutes starts now. Off you go.
Brilliant. It's not going to work. It's not really a baguette, is it?
Two and a half minutes gone, Ryan. You're halfway, so you've actually got 5 minutes left.
I'm just going to give it the fight. Just relax off 5 minutes. Be happy with that.
Is that you done?
I think so, yeah.
5 minutes to go?
I think so, yeah.
With that time left, I'm a bit disappointed you didn't have another go at the baguette, because you weren't happy with it.
No, but I couldn't work out why I wasn't happy. I've never made one, so I knew it wasn't right, but I was getting flustered and didn't want to fluster myself any further.
Bread rolls, not an issue for you. I like the fact that you took time to attempt at a decent plat. And your baguette, you had 5 minutes left. It would have been good to see you give it another go. You had a lot of time, your perseverance. You will get there.
Ryan, thank you. Free to go.
I feel a lot more nervous now, because now I know there's something I don't know. Whereas before, you could have gone in, it could have been a test that you knew and you could leave positive, but now there's that doubt in my mind that what else don't I know? What else will get thrown at me?
Last up is 34-year-old Marcel, who runs his own restaurant in Oxfordshire. His deconstructed mango cheesecake was nothing short of a disaster.
If I do really well and I feel I've done my best, I'll be happy whatever happens. I just don't want to let myself down again. That's what I don't want.
Do you work with much bread?
Yeah, I do bread.
Good, Marcel, that's great. 10 minutes, off you go. You're halfway, so you've got 5 minutes left, Marcel. Last minute. All done, Marcel? Finished?
Yeah.
I thought you worked with bread. You've made this lovely dough, you've left it to prove, yet you just knocked all the air out of it, tearing the dough like that. Pour the whole dough out onto the table and then portion out what you need to roll.
I would have liked a smaller baguette with some pointy ends. That's what I was after. And I'd like the bread rolls the same size. Platting, we've got a bit of a monster there now, haven't we? Bit of a truncheon we've got there.
But at least you gave it a go. If you're really going to struggle, at least trim these ends off and make it a bit more presentable if this is something that you're going to use, all right?
Marcel, thank you very much. Off you go.
Very much.
I'm not convinced.
No.
I had really disappointed first round. I don't feel I completely excel in the second round. I feel I've done better. So I think the third one I just need to nail it. I just need to cook my socks off.
After seeing these chefs do both tests, when Michelle and I sit down to decide who's going home, I've got a pretty fair idea who it's going to be.
I'm a veteran of MasterChef now, and I've seen loads of twists and turns. I wouldn't be surprised if it all turns itself around on its head.
There'd have to be a huge leap of faith to change my mind.
For my classic dish, I want the chefs to prepare a velouté de coquillage au champagne. That is a seafood velouté flavoured with champagne. Champagne, for me, is the perfect accompaniment for seafood. It's all about celebration, and this dish celebrates seafood. First job, we need to rinse the clams and the cockles in some cold water. This really is basics, making sure that the seafood is clean before it's cooked. And then the champagne. Lovely, the mussels have just opened. It smells of the sea, it's wonderful. So now we need to pick all these cockles, mussels and clams and make sure that they are clean, spotless. Don't want the chefs to rush and hurry this. If they rush and hurry it, then they will damage and bruise these beautiful little cockles. That is exquisite. Every single mussel to be checked. No sand. Now for the razor clams. The best part is this mussel here. Sliced thinly. If it's not sliced, it can be a bit too chewy. Let's prep the squid. All chefs should know how to prepare squid. The beak there is not nice to eat. Remove the quill. And the skin. And for this recipe, I like little rings, which I'll cook at the very last second. I want to see the chefs using the body and the tentacles. I think it's important to use all of the squid. These are quick rinse. Langoustines. And I think it's wonderful to have these little langoustines just roasted, still in the shell. They look wonderful, and they're so sweet when you roast them in the shell. So now to prepare the velouté. So we have all the wonderful juices and the cooking of the clams and the mussels. I'm going to pass that through a fine sieve, just in case there are any impurities or sand in there. We now reduce that down just a little bit, not too much because otherwise it will be too intense a sea flavour. And just a touch of cream. And I like to put a little bit of creme fraiche as well, which gives a nice hint of acidity. You don't want it to be over-creamed. If it is over-creamed, it's just going to be heavy. Just a tiny drop. I want to sear the langoustine and the squid, not fry them. And the squid rings. Get that wonderful, wonderful seared flavour. And that's it. That's cooked. Really just a matter of seconds. The velouté coming up to the boil. As soon as it's hot, we reheat our seafood in there and off. A few of the shrimps. All that's left now is to assemble the dish. A little boat. The langoustine. Some samphire, which will add texture, and this is sea lettuce, and it is quite delicious. And finally, the velouté with that last little drop of champagne in there to give that sauce vivacity. And that's it, the velouté de coquillage parfumé au champagne. A celebration of seafood flavoured with champagne. For me, this is heaven on a plate. If the chefs can do something like that, I'll be happy. Welcome back to the MasterChef kitchen. You've had your chance to cook for Monica and Greg. Now, your chance to cook for me. For my classic recipe, I want you to prepare a velouté de coquillage au champagne, a seafood velouté flavoured with champagne. All professional chefs should know how to make a velouté. That's why the recipe in front of you has no weights or measures. This is your chance. Grab it. 1 hour to deliver an exquisite plate of seafood. Let's get cooking.
I feel I'm way behind everyone else in the competition at the moment, but this is my chance to get back on track.
Marcel, are you classically trained?
No, never. I'm self-taught. Never trained. Never cooking professional kitchen other than mine.
Really?
I worked restaurant manager, bars manager, food and beverage manager. I always loved cooking and always wanted to cook, so learned from the books, from the internet.
Fantastic.
I love what I'm doing, so I put everything into it, and it seemed to be paying off so far.
Good. Congratulations. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Marcel, I don't think has ever cooked a razor clam before, let alone seen one. He's cooked it in a frying pan and tried to fry it, and it's just not worked. It's a bit worrying.
This is something that I can't do. As long as in my own mind I've done it to the very top standard that I can produce, then it's something that I'm going to be happy with.
Hi, David.
Hi.
You comfortable with this recipe?
I've got in mind what I want to present, so I'm comfortable with this.
Good. Good. That always helps. Helps you focus.
Yeah.
And where are you working now?
I'm working in a three-roulette restaurant in a hotel in Darlington. I'm chef de party.
CDP, chef de party.
I want to get the highest level I can get to. The competition will help us achieve that, so that's what I want. That's why I'm here.
The thing about the selection of seafood that I've given them is that there are different ways that they could cook them. I like the squid seared or roasted to give a different texture, different flavour. Likewise, the langoustine. It'll be interesting to see what they come up with.
I've got to respect the forefathers of the cuisine, so I've read a lot about classical cooking. I've cooked a bit of classical cooking, so hopefully my background knowledge will get me there.
Hi, Ryan.
Afternoon.
You worked with seafood before?
I really enjoy working with seafood. One of my favourite things to work with.
Really? So this is the perfect recipe for you?
This is a very happy recipe for me.
So what's your background?
I started off as a waiter, 2 years front of house, and then just fell in love with the magic of the kitchen. The boys in the back seem to have a lot more fun. So I went in there, started up for plonge, pot wash, and then jumped on salads and just general prep and just kept learning and learning and learning. As long as I'm happy in the job and keep loving the ingredients put in front of me, I don't think I'll ever stop.
Ryan has set his stall out. He said he loves seafood, works with it on a regular basis. Well, deliver.
This is a massive opportunity to cook for Michelle Root Jr. So today's either going to be a baptism of fire or it's going to be a day that I'll hopefully remember for the rest of my life.
Where are you from, James?
Just outside Belfast in Northern Ireland, a place called Dungannon.
Do they enjoy classic cooking up there?
They do, yeah. I'm a lecturer in Belfast College, so I'm trying to teach the classics to the next generation day in, day out, so I'm hoping this is going to play to my strengths today.
Fantastic. Have you done any competitions before, James?
In Ireland, last year I won the Senior Chef of the Year, and then 2009 I won the Young Chef of the Year, so I've always tried to compete across the water here in England as well. Haven't always been so lucky.
They all seem to have used the cooking liquor of the clams to make the basis of the sauce. I think they've all used the langoustine heads as well to add more flavour to the dish. I think I'm in for 4 very good veloutés. I just hope they don't over-reduce it and make it too buttery and creamy. 4 minutes, last squeeze of lemon, dash of champagne. We're in the final minute. That's it. Over. I asked you to cook a velouté de coquillage au champagne, a seafood velouté flavoured with champagne. The velouté should be light, not over-reduced. It should be a soup, not a sauce. The seafood cooked properly. Presentation should be elegant, have style, have panache. David, up you come. First thing, David, there's droplets of oil which have settled on top of the velouté, and it doesn't look very appetising. In fact, it makes it look greasy. Not nice. You've pan-seared the squid, but it would have been nice to get just a little bit of colour on it. The seaweed you've fried, and it just hasn't worked. It won't crisp up. The velouté itself has got a strong flavour of lemon. I think you put a bit of lemon peel in there, lemon rind, and that is overpowering. the delicate flavour of the sea, and there's no taste of champagne. And there's fat over the top there, which is not pleasant. Not pleasant to eat and not pleasant to look at. David.
Few mistakes that I don't usually make, and it's just, yeah, a bit of a letdown. Big letdown.
Ryan, your turn. Ryan, first thing, you've given me a roast shallot in there. Wasn't asked for, but it does certainly add some colour. I don't know if it's going to really add anything to the dish, though. Roast shallot's really nice. Really nice. Really sweet, well roasted. I don't really think it belongs on the plate, though. You mentioned that you love cooking with seafood, and I can see that there. It's plainly obvious you know how to cook clams and langoustine. Very good there. The razor clams, you've kind of chopped them up into different sizes and different shapes. It'd be nice, a little bit of symmetry there. The veloute itself, it's got a pronounced lemon taste when it should be a pronounced champagne and seafood taste. Little errors, though. Little errors of judgment. Oh, Ryan.
You can understand I can actually cook. It's just paying attention to the details. I think as a 2-star chef, you really want to set a discipline within us.
James, now for you. James, first off, I do like the presentation. You've frothed up using the hand blender some of the veloute. It looks like the waves have been splashing in the rock pool, and there's that lovely froth, and it looks beautiful. All the seafood is well cooked. I like the fact that the squid is in small pieces and that I could eat all of this with just a spoon. The veloute is slightly too reduced, quite heavy. Saying that, it has got the flavours of the sea, and you do get a little bit of the champagne taste as well. Very good attempt. James, well done.
Thank you, chef.
Showcase my abilities as a chef, and maybe put me on the radar for the right reasons now. Very pleased. Finally.
Last up, it's Marcel, whose 2 tests with Monica left her unimpressed.
Marcel, I do like the presentation. I like the fact that you've kept some of the mussels in their shell. A little bit upset that you didn't put the razor clam in.
I tried to cook it, then I tasted it, and it didn't taste right, so I didn't put it on the plate.
The seafood is lovely. It's tender, moist, full of natural juices. You picked the langoustine raw and then roasted it, which adds more sweetness, I feel, to the langoustine. That's very good. I like that. The veloute is not too rich. You can taste the champagne. The acidity levels are just right. This is a really good plate of food, especially coming from a self-taught chef. Well done.
Thank you. I think I made the right step towards impressing him. I think it's a first step. That's all it was.
Now, a chance for you to cook your classic recipe. A dish that showcases your skills. 1 hour. Off you go.
If I was to go home at the end of the day, I would be devastated. I'd be embarrassed. But whatever happens, I'm just going to have to go with it. Change my name, move to Spain.
James, what's your classic dish?
Today, chef, I'm doing a take on chicken carbonara.
The only decent carbonara I've ever had is my daughter's boyfriend, who's Italian, cooked one once.
Okay, well, that's a lot of pressure then, chef.
But it was just a rustic carbonara. I have a funny feeling this isn't going to be rustic.
You'd be correct.
You're playing your cards very close to your chest.
I am, chef, yes.
What's the saffron for?
It was for the pasta, chef, but I've had a think at the last minute and haven't added it because I don't want to have a flavour which is not traditional to the dish. So I've just omitted it.
That might be a wise move. Chicken is never normally served with a carbonara. It's a very simple rustic dish. I'm not too sure about prettying up carbonara, if it's going to work or not. "15 minutes gone, chefs." Ryan, what are you cooking for me?
Scallop baked in its shell with a sauce. And then I'm going to put a bit of a modern twist, some new flavour, a bit of Asian influence in there.
You love cooking with seafood. You said that earlier, and you cooked your seafood really well in the last challenge. Are you playing safe by any chance?
As safe as one can with the scallop. There's a lot of prep to go into it. Got to make sure it's clean. Got to make sure the flavours aren't lost, it's not overcooked, it's not overpowered. It's very subtle flavour. It looks simple, but at the end of the day, it can go very wrong very quickly.
Fancy your chances?
I do indeed.
Yeah? Excellent, Ryan. Get cracking.
The scallop was one of the first proteins I learned how to cook properly. So it's something I've got a real passion for, in the way you can make it a very subtle flavour, so you can pan fry, you can ceviche it. So I'm really going to take everything I can do with the scallop, and I'm going to do everything with it.
Halfway, chefs. 30 minutes to go.
The dish that I've chose to do is rack and loin of rabbit with smoked mustard sauce. This is what I feel is one of my best dishes, so if this isn't meet the standard of the competition, I need to seriously up again.
David really needs to prove to me that he can dress a plate of food with elegance and without any mistakes, because in the previous round there was oil all over the plate and it just didn't look delicate. Rabbit and mustard, a true French classic.
Yeah.
Your variation of it?
Yes.
Good. And it's tried and tested?
Once, yeah.
You do it in an hour?
1 hour, 3 minutes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. Cutting it fine.
Yeah.
You feeling confident?
Yes and no. I'm confident in the dish, but everything in terms of the French trimmed rack has to be perfect. Otherwise, the dish won't look right.
There's some good chefs here.
Yeah. Hope I'm one of them. We'll find out at the end.
"15 minutes to go, chefs. Yep, 15. Marcel, what's your dish?
I'm doing fish and chips.
Oh, I thought so. When I saw the beer here and I saw your piece of fish and peas, I thought, hang on a minute.
Basically, it was the first dish I had when I came over to England. And also my mom, when she comes over, there's one of the few dishes she likes to eat, so she always asks for it, so I thought I'm going to do that. Basically, what I'm taking the fish and chips and trying to refine every single ingredients on the plate.
Good. Any timing issues, do you think?
I think I'll be all right.
I hope so, because I do like fish and chips.
I'm glad to hear that.
This is definitely not going to be the fish and chips that you get in your chippy down the road. There's a lot of work going into these little chips. He's cut them into cylinders, blanched them, put them in the vacuum pack machine twice to extract the moisture and hopefully make them super crispy.
I don't feel that I'm messing around with the classic. I'm refining it and bringing it to the modern form.
"2 minutes. Come on." You You're in the last few seconds. Finished. Time's up.
First up is James, with his take on the classic carbonara. Roast chicken breast, topped with a deep-fried egg, crisp bacon and chives. Resting on a leek and bacon ragu, accompanied by confit chicken wings, tortellini filled with chicken and mushroom mousse, and a creamy chicken sauce.
Visually, I think this works. You have busted up to give me a plate of food with so much process. You've confit the little wings and cleaned the bone to put back inside to make it look incredibly neat, like a little chicken lollipop. Beautiful work. Your breast of chicken is incredibly moist, beautifully cooked, lovely crispy skin. Egg yolk, perfect. Crispy on the outside, and the yolk running into the sauce. Lovely. Pasta, very well made, thin, cooked al dente, and the stuffing inside, not overpowering. Well judged. I'm not really sure about the cream, actually, for the carbonara, because a true carbonara has no cream. But, yes, I get it. You are a chef that thinks. You're clever.
Thank you.
I like that.
It's better than your daughter's boyfriends.
Ah, well, that's different. That's different. I would never diss my daughter's boyfriend.
Delighted with how today went. Today was a good day. And I represented myself as best as I could, so I'm just happy with that.
Ryan has prepared his scallops in 3 ways. Baked in a shell with apple, cucumber and wasabi sauce and a pastry rim. Ceviche with apple and wasabi foam topped with cucumber, carrot and tobiko flying fish eggs. And pan-seared.
The cookie Saint-Jacques baked in its shell looks like the pastry's not quite cooked enough. Or it should have been egg washed to give it a nice shine. The original classic dish of cooking a scallop in its own shell is a great concept because the scallop will steam in its own juices and whatever else you're putting in there, be it Asian style flavors or classic with truffle or whatever. And you open it up and you get that wonderful aroma, and that's missing here. The scallop has rendered down some juices, and so have the vegetables, and therefore the sauce is quite wet. The flavors have just been diluted. Your seared scallop is delicious. Crisp, golden, cooked really well. The ceviche, lacking in seasoning, and there's far too much garnish in there. It's also a little bit rough. It's not presented with any true elegance. I'm not bowled over by your trio of scallops.
All in all, nothing really went that well. I don't want to beat myself up too much. I just got to kind of improve on everything he said.
For his take on fish and chips, Marcel's poached cod has been served with a shard of crisp skin and accompanied by twice-cooked chips, onion rings, capers, cucumber pea puree, and a hollandaise sauce.
Nice, very nice. The lovely poached fish, glistening, a nice piece of crispy skin to give it height like that. Almost looks like a sail. Very nice. I'm not a huge fan of cooking fish in a water bath because of the texture. Almost like a raw fish. It's not to everybody's taste. But lovely, lovely crispy skin. The hollandaise is lovely. The pea puree works really well with that. The onion rings, delicious. The chips, they've worked. All that effort, blanching, sous vide to extract the moisture, it's worked. Chef, hat off to you, mate.
I feel I've done much better with Michel to what I've done with the test with Monica. So, yeah, I'm reasonably pleased with myself.
Inspired by the classic combination of rabbit and mustard, David pan-fried the loin and served it with crumbed kidneys, onion and carrot purees, grelotte onions, and a smoky mustard sauce.
It's just minuscule. Why?
If I had a tasting menu, which is the direction I want to go into, this is what I would put on and this is how I would present it.
The rack's missing.
Yeah, time constraints, I forgot all about it in the last minute rush.
Kidney's lovely, crispy on the outside and pink, but cooked all the way through. The loin is very pink. All right for me. I'm not sure that all diners would like it that pink. Sweet onion puree, could have done with a bit more seasoning. Likewise, the carrot puree. The sauce, you've used the smoke essence that comes in a bottle.
Yes.
It's very strong, that stuff. Very, very strong. Rabbit is very delicate. It's a white meat. It has little flavour. It's overpowered by the smoke. Oh, dearie me. I don't know what to think about you, David. I really don't.
I think I've shown skill. I've just not got it right. But as it stands, I'm not very confident about staying.
4 different plates of food and 4 completely different chefs. Monica will be joining me to help me decide who will be leaving us. Thank you. I enjoyed today. I must say, I've tasted some good food today, Monica, and I've seen some good chefs at work. Marcel impressed me today. His classic recipe, I thought, was beautiful. There were little mistakes, yes, when I got to taste it. But to look at, it was the kind of food that you see in very high-end restaurants. Ooh, you've got that look in your eye again, Monica. You weren't too impressed by Marcel.
On the skills test, had the lovely proved dough in the bowl. He tore at it, yanked it out, and it upset me to watch something so beautiful get destroyed like that.
But I am prepared to take a punt on Marcel because the food that he cooked today was of a very good standard. James is confident, and that comes with age, that comes with experience. In his classic recipe, he made a dish which he called carbonara and chicken. It was very pretty, very precise, and he knew exactly what he was doing. I think he's a very clever chef.
And the skills test, he managed to deliver, on the day. A lot of enthusiasm from him, and I like to see that.
James definitely deserves to go through. That leaves us with David and Ryan. I was a bit disappointed with Ryan. For his classic recipe, he cooked scallops 3 ways. There was no cohesion to this dish, but you could hardly taste the scallop.
On the skills test, Ryan was very quick. I think he could have done a better job, but I did ask him and he said, no, that's it, that's me done. Which for me was a bit of a disappointment.
I feel I've really let myself down today and I've got a lot to prove to Michelle, so to stay in the competition would just be a second chance to really prove what I'm all about.
David, for his invention test, made a crab ravioli. There were flavours here. There was a plate that worked well, but it was just one ravioli with herbs strewn on the top.
For his classic recipe, he decided to cook a loin and a rack of rabbit with a smoked mustard sauce, but smoke drowned out the flavour of the delicate rabbit. But what really annoyed me, Monica, was that it was this big. I did say that to him, and he said, well, it would be part of a tasting menu, chef.
Now it's all over, I'm just nervous to see if I'll come back. I want to come back. I'm all over the place in the hand.
For me, Monica, we have to look at who do we think is going to improve the most, David or Ryan? We have made a decision. The chef leaving us is Ryan.
Very disappointed with myself to be going home this early. I think I've got more to give, but I didn't give it to the competition, so hindsight's a beautiful thing.
That was a big shock. I expected to go, really expected to go, but very, very happy that I'm still here.
Obviously, I'm really happy. I feel I can held my head quite high when I lifted it.
It was a very good day from start to finish.